Well, we're back at St Martin's again today with our resident expert Ralph, and today we're going to be looking at hand-built models. Now, I normally collect only die-cast, but the hand-built market is absolutely exquisite. So let's have a closer look. Ralph, can you just talk me through one or two of these? They look great.
Right, you've got quite a lot of hand-built models in here. This is a company, again English, which is called Somerville. They're based in Lincolnshire, and they make really, really nice models, mainly sort of 50s English cars. Like this is a full prefect. They do things like this little Sunbeam Alpine.
Well, the first thing I notice is that they're heavier than die-cast models.
They are much heavier, yeah.
Why is that?
It's because they're made of a material called white metal, which is kind of hard to explain, but it's a mixture of different metals, probably lead-like in content, but it doesn't have lead in it.
Does that make them more expensive though, yeah?
It makes them more expensive to produce, and they're also made in very low volumes. You know, these models are made in hundreds, not hundreds of thousands like the die-cast companies.
So it's quite kind of a limited edition really, isn't it?
It is, yeah, built in, and of course they're much more expensive than die-cast as well.
Are there other...
At Somerville's being about sort of £70–80 bracket.
Right, I was going to say, are there other makes there? They look...
There's another company up here, this is Lansdowne Models. They also do a range of English cars, but they're much, much cheaper. They're about £46.
Right.
They do all sorts of things. They're even heavier than the Somerville ones.
Yeah, I can feel the difference straight away.
But the detail's not as fine on these as it is on the Somervilles.
Yeah. Now, I mean, they've got a crop of road cars there. How about race cars?
Yeah, there's another company over here. This company here is called BBR. They're Italian. These are also hand-built, but they're unusual. They're made of resin, which is like a form of a thick plastic, and you can get really, really good detail in this resin material.
Yeah, I can see the level of detail here is really exquisite. How much would something like this
BBRs
cost?
are much, much more expensive. They're about £120 bracket, 120, 140.
And again, they only make limited numbers?
They do. On some of these race cars, there's only 100 of each, sometimes 200 of each.
Yeah, but I can see the level of detail is really impressive in terms of even the livery. I know that die-cast, I mean, would you say that die-cast is closing in on the hand-built market?
It is. The modern die-cast, a lot of it has been made in China now, and it's very, very detailed, and they are catching some of the lesser hand-built companies up.
Yeah, well that's just with the development of the computer-originated
right, yeah.
decals, yeah. So tell me about these land speed cars. They look quite impressive as well.
Right, this one's a Bluebird, 1935, made by an English company called Western Models.
Oh, wow. Now, this is the Campbell car, yeah?
It's a Campbell. They make about 4 different Bluebirds and quite a few other land speed record cars. In the back of the case here, we've got an Italian-made model made by a guy called Ugo Fedini. And this is made of resin, but his stuff is quite sought after and it's very expensive. This is about £400 nearly.
Gee, I mean, are these limited editions as well then, yeah?
They don't actually give them numbers, but they don't make very many, so they are, yeah, really.
So we're really looking at the specialist end of the market
You
here.
are.
Well, guys, there you have it. This is really at the cutting edge of collecting. I mean, if you've got the money, fine, but go carefully and choose wisely. But the selection is absolutely fantastic.